Mel Gibson has been nominated for 3 Oscars.
Yes, I've heard.
Winning 2 for Braveheart, one for Best Picture, the other for Best Director. He was nominated again in the Best Director category for Hacksaw Ridge. Unbelievably though, Mel has never been nominated for an Oscar as either Best Actor or Best Supporting Actor.
I know you're making a point here. I just don't know what it is.
What I'm saying is Mel Gibson's filmography is filled with Oscar-worthy performances.
Yes, it was.
But one performance in particular is incredibly underrated. That performance came in 2002 when he played Graham Hess in M. Night Shyamalan's Signs.
It's happening.
For starters, if you haven't seen Signs, this will have spoilers, but it came out 20 years ago, so really, that's on you. In Signs, Mel plays a widowed former reverend grappling with faith, family, and an impending alien invasion. Night is a master of mood, and Mel's cadence perfectly matches the rhythm and atmosphere that Night creates. Graham Hess is not an easy character to play. Graham is a sad, confused, grief-stricken man who overcompensates for his vulnerability by putting on a confident facade for the sake of his family.
My vote counts as 2.
That's bullshit!
6 months prior, Graham knew how the world worked, and he understood the meaning of life. But when we meet him, he's struggling to make sense of his new world view. He's a man at odds with himself and the world around him. Every scene showcases the complexities of Graham Hess and the inner battle his character fights within himself while facing external challenges and threats. Mel delivers a ton of emotion in so many scenes. If you've seen the movie, the first one that comes to mind may be his last conversation with his dying wife.
I'm here.
2 powerful, emotional scenes come toward the end of the movie, both times when his son Morgan is on the brink of death. As a former reverend who lost his faith, Graham curses God while simultaneously soothing his son, trying to stabilize his breathing.
Don't do this to me again. Not again. I hate you. I hate you.
Then, in the penultimate scene of the movie, Graham holds a lifeless Morgan who was just sprayed by lethal poison.
His lungs were closed. No poison got in.
When the camera pans back to Graham's face, Mel delivers a powerful performance.
Don't.
And then when we hear Morgan come to life off screen,
Dad?
Mel's reaction is absolutely perfect. And speaking of great reactions, Graham's conversation with Ray Reddy offers an incredible acting moment from Mel that's hard to qualify.
Hello, Ray.
Here's how Graham responds to Ray's apology for accidentally killing his wife.
I'm truly sorry for what I've done to you and yours.
Let's go one more time. That feels raw, that feels real, that feels truthful. Everything going through Graham's mind is a flurry of different feelings and emotions. From the script I found online, the script said, the 2 men stare at each other for a beat. And this is what Mel delivers. Absolutely masterful. I'd imagine this is also a product of Night's direction, since Mel mentions Night's high expectations as a director.
He has a very good understanding of how he wants to see the story and what he wants to extract from it, technically on film and from performance. I mean, those are things you talk about on the spot. He doesn't settle for the usual kind of, oh, that was good enough.
Come on, let's go. What is that? Who is that for? Let's go.
It's for you.
And he'll even say, well, that was good, but like, hey, I want something else. I want something more. I want something. And you sort of like, okay, you shut it down. And he's picked up on a couple of my shortcuts, bad habits, tricks I've learned over the years to get around most people, and they'll sort of eat it up, but he won't buy it. He's very observant. So he pushes you just a little further to extract something more from you, which is nice.
I think that scene with Ray Reddy is his second best moment in the movie. But before we get to what I believe to be his most incredible scene, we have to talk about his 2 monologues that he delivers to his daughter Bo and son Morgan.
They put you on the table to clean you up. And you looked up at me and you smiled. They say babies that young can't smile. You smiled.
These monologues came as the invasion is starting to ramp up, and in order to diffuse his kids' fears, he tries to distract them with a heartfelt memory of their mom.
Do you know what happened when you were born, Morgan?
Mel's calm cadence is perfectly juxtaposed with chaos going on outside of the house, and as a viewer, you're navigating heartfelt emotion and abject fear.
They're on the roof.
And that's exactly what Graham is navigating as well.
They're in the house.
I wanted your mama to see you first. Because she had dreamed about you her whole life.
His best scene is the dinner table scene, where the Hess family each chooses their favorite meal to eat for what may be their last meal ever.
What's the matter with everyone? Eat.
Then it all comes out. Anger, sadness, grief, pain.
I hate you.
And underlying it all is fear.
That's fine.
And not only is Mel conveying all of that, but then he has to eat.
Since you're all not gonna eat, I'm gonna try some of everything.
And I moved to Mel as fast as we could, and Mel has to do this amazing physical performance because he has to be emotional while eating. And if anybody's ever tried to do that, it's impossible. It's 2 separate things.
What also isn't easy is having to recite a dense, detailed monologue that expresses the entire meaning of the movie.
See, what you have to ask yourself is, what kind of person are you? Are you the kind that sees signs, sees miracles? Or do you believe that people just get lucky? Or look at the question this way. Is it possible that there are no coincidences?
But Mel absolutely crushes it.
There you go.
Mel's big speech is so tricky to say because it's like group A, group B, group number 1, group number 2, and you can get really confused, and it's very long, so I wasn't sure it was going to happen. And then we did Joaquin's side first, and he just rocks it. And then we turned around to shoot Mel's side, and he has to go to the White House, his movie that he was making, We Were Soldiers, he was showing for the White House. And I said, you know what? Let's not do this. We'll come back and do this tomorrow. But he goes, we're going to do this scene now. You realize why he's a superstar.
For as many tears as Mel's performance conjured up, he got just as many laughs.
Everybody in this house needs to calm down, eat some fruit or something.
Ah! I'm insane with anger! I'm losing my mind!
It was very dark.
Yes, it was.
Is douchebag a curse?
I suppose that would depend on its usage.
How about, John, you're a douchebag for kissing Barbara?
It's a curse. We already took some of your friends downtown in a paddy wagon.
Mel's performance embodied more than just tears or fear.
I don't know what got into me.
What Mel Gibson was able to achieve by portraying Graham Hess was sensational and wildly underrated.
Don't throw your life away, son.
I love that in this moment, Graham slips back into being a reverend almost as if he's listening to a confession. The entire movie, his character struggles with his identity. He's in a constant fight over who he was versus who he is, what he wants to be versus what he doesn't want to be. His character is always torn, and he plays it beautifully the entire film.
I don't think so, Father.
In another scene where he's trying to deny his former faith, he's seen in a religious position, on his knees.
Caroline? Please stop calling me father.
This show will never try to elevate an underrated moment at the expense of someone else. So in an Oscar pool of 5 candidates, I'm not going to go full clickbait and say that Mel Gibson should have won Best Actor for Signs.
What did you say?
But I will say he could have been nominated. To give credit where credit is due, Graham Hess is a complex character that was masterfully written and masterfully directed by M. Night Shyamalan, and Mel got to work off of some incredible supporting performances. Cherry Jones, Rory Culkin, Abigail Breslin, and Joaquin Phoenix were all brilliant in the film. We may even do a future episode about the brilliance of Meryl Hess, but we'll have to take a swing at that on another episode. If you're looking forward to that, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.